What do your kids really need to know about money? We can both agree that our kids need to be taught financial literacy as part of their schooling. But what do they actually need to know, and how do you make it happen? Inside this episode, we're talking about the 5 key things to make sure that they know. This is the Your Money, Your Life podcast where ambitious women come together to have clarity, prosperity, and confidence with their money without sacrificing precious time and well-deserved fun. So let's do this. Inside this episode, we're talking all about your kids and money and what we should be teaching our kids about money, all those things. Now, I'm actually working on putting together a financial budgeting course, helping you and teaching your kids about money. It's not ready yet. It doesn't even have a name. There's going to be different levels based off of, age range. So, we're not teaching the same thing that we're teaching elementary school to high schoolers, etc. But if you want to be one of the first ones to know, you want to know about like pre-sale, discounts, all the information, all you have to do right now is go to aimeecerka.com/kids with an S. There'll be a form there. Fill that out. I'll make sure you stay up to date when that course, that program does become available. You'll be the first to know, get the discounts, all those things. Let's get into the episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Aimee Cerka. Today, we are talking about what your kids need to know when it comes to money, right? Okay. So let's just dive in. The first thing that they need to know is like how to earn money. But this isn't just, the go to school, get good grades, get a good paying job, and you'll be set for life, right? That mantra, that saying is really outdated. And honestly, it wasn't ever really tested. It was designed for the industrial age. We are no longer in the industrial age. It does not work anymore. There are several different ways to earn money. And as you heard inside the episode, sponsorship, like this is what we're working on creating. We're going to talk about the various ways on how you can earn money, because our kids need to know the Unstoppable Finances framework as well. We're going to help them start off with that solid financial foundation, and earning money is a large portion of that. So yes, you can absolutely get a great job and you can earn money through jobs. You can earn money through side hustles. You can earn money through starting a business. There are so many kids out there that have their own businesses that are making income that way. And then they need to learn about investing. This really could be like 1A, but investing is something that we all need to learn about. And so many times we have these money stories created around, like I'm making a number 2. Okay. So the second thing that your kids need to know is about investing. And there's different categories within investing even. We have the traditional stock market. We have real estate. We have business investments. You have like vending machines. You have car washes, public storage units. All of these things can be investments. And when we start training kids to learn about investments and what investing is, even investing in yourself and your skills, we empower them to be that much further ahead. And that's really why we talk about this. I mean, yes, we have the obligation to talk to our kids about money and those things, but okay, I'll say me. I'm thinking you're with me on this one, but I want to set my kids up that they're starting off better than I was like before. So they're starting on my shoulders. That does not mean that I'm not looking for them to experience hardships and I'm not wanting them to learn the lesson, because I do. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to suck as their parent to watch them go through that. But I know, and I'm sure you know as well, the things that we had to struggle and the things we had to work through, that's like, that made us who we are now. So if I remove all the struggle and all the hardship, then how are they going to learn? We can train them so they learn from our experiences. And if we train them as they grow up, they can avoid some of those mistakes. And that's the goal that we have here. So investing is the second one. What investing really is, what this looks like, how that you invest, what some of these like terms are that are thrown around, you know, IRA, Roth, annuities, some of those terms, like having an understanding of what things are, cryptocurrency, precious metals, all of those things. If they start off and they have a foundation, now, of course, it probably depends on your child's age, like how in depth you're going with this. I'm not teaching my 6-year-old like how to invest in the stock market, but we talk about investments and where we're giving our money that job, we're investing it to be able to go make more money. We can start at that foundational level at 6. How much is he going to grasp at that age? I don't really know, but when you start there, repetition is key. So that by the time we're talking about the 10-year-old, he can have a very intelligent conversation about these things. Okay. Which brings us to the third thing that our kids need to know. They need to know how to manage money. You know, most people will call this budgeting. Budgeting is a part of your money management, but it's not just budgeting. Like there's more to your budget. There's more to managing your money than just a budget. A budget is setting the intention of a budget is setting the intention of where you want your money to go. But we really need to also like teach them how to track like after the fact, and some of these habits that we talk about on a daily basis and improving our relationship with money and managing our money, like they need to know too. Which brings us to the fourth one. We need to teach them about the relationship with money. They need to be aware, you know, we're not perfect. We're going to mess things up. And when we do mess things up, I own up to it. Like, I hope you do as well. But I own up to the fact that like, hey, you know what? That's not something that I should have said, or that's not something that I should have done. I'm still working on this. I like hope that you can see that and understand that if it's somewhere where like I need to ask for forgiveness, I can do that. But even it's just the things that we're modeling. My kids know now if they find a coin on the ground, this is a really easy one to start with. If they find money on the ground, they know that we say, cha-ching, money comes to me in increasing quantities all day long. It might just be a penny, but you know what? They know that. And it's still money, and we're still improving our relationship with money and understanding that it's a tool, and a tool that we use to do greater good. And then finally, the fifth key thing that they need to know. These might sound similar because this is probably like the 5 things that we need to know, like as adults, right? But they need to know the rules of the game. This is like where the battlefield part of the unstoppable finances comes in. And, you know, protection. They need to know like how credit works, because most of us don't understand like how credit works. We'll get a credit card, your first credit card, and you're like, well, woohoo, free money. I go spend it all. Yeah, no, that's not how that worked, right? We need to talk about that from early on, what credit is actually used for, if you need it, when you need it, why you need it. Yes, we do still need to have good credit, even though the goal for most of us is to pay cash. We need to talk about insurance, like why it's important to have insurance. We need to have conversations about debt and being smart about our debt management so that they're not waking up going, I dug myself in the hole and I wish that somebody taught me growing up about this. Some of the things that we find that we say, and even just the economy. So many posts and things that I see, even from adults, like we have to be intentional with what we're learning. We cannot just trust the media to tell us the narrative. If you can train your children to learn how the economy functions and why we have the things that we do, they are going to be set up so much farther for success than we could ever imagine. So there we go. 5 things that we need, 5 core principles, I guess, or 5 areas that we need to teach our kids about money. So I'd love to hear your challenge for today. Which one of these 5 do you think would have made most difference for you, or that you've started teaching your children about so that they're set up for financial success? Send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka. I can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what your next step should be.